AITA for not telling my boyfriend I own the building we live in. Original post, hi. Obviously a throwaway for privacy. Also, I'm new to posting, so I hope I do this correctly. When I was 18, my dad gifted me a house with 2 stories. I am extremely thankful. We are not upper class, but my dad bought this house for a cheap price a long time ago. It was his grandmother's cousin's house. I know that this was an extreme privilege, and I am forever grateful for this. The layout of this building is like an apartment, but it is a house. So basically, each story has its own separate entry, its own kitchen and bathroom. I live upstairs while I rent out the downstairs. My boyfriend, 25, moved in with me about 3 months ago, and we have been together for 6 months. I have not asked him for money, neither for utilities or to pay me any rent. The only thing he contributes to is groceries that we split 50-50ths. I have not brought up that I own the building, as it is not something I tell many people. If people ask me, I of course tell them that I own it, but if they just assume I am a renter, then they can believe that. The topic of a landlord, the renter downstairs, or the owner of the building has not been something we have talked about. This last Tuesday, the renter came up to tell me that her freezer has stopped working. I answered the door, and my boyfriend heard us talking, I suppose. I went downstairs to take a look, and we came to the conclusion that she would buy a new one, send me the receipt, and I would give her the money. She was very grateful for this solution. When I went upstairs, my boyfriend asked if it could be fixed. I told him no, but she was going to buy a new one and I would pay for it. He looked at me like I was crazy and asked me why the hell I would pay for a freezer. I told him that because I am her landlord and the freezer was there when she started renting, I would stand for the cost. He just asked me if I was serious, to which I said I was. He began screaming at me, asking him why the hell I would hold this information from him and that I was an evil person. I said I was sorry for not telling him, but I did not think that it would matter. He said he could not believe he was together with someone who is a landlord, that all of us just use people for money, and that the only thing we people care about is money and would rather have people be homeless than offering affordable rent. The downstairs is 1 kitchen, 1 bath, and 4 other rooms. I charge $500 in rent. I understand many people have had trouble with landlords, but I try my best to be a good one. He demanded that I give him 50% of the money I make from rent, or else I was just as bad as he thought. Was I really the asshole for not telling him? He has not talked to me since Tuesday, and I've tried telling him that I am truly sorry, but he doesn't answer me at all. Edit. Obligatory edit to add that I certainly did not expect this to blow up the way it did. I've tried to read as much as I can. Thank you all for your advice and support. I have talked with him, and I will update later tonight when I have time to process everything that went down and try to write it out as best as I can. For the people who was worried about my safety, I called my dad who was sat outside in his car when I talked with my boyfriend, and I am safe as of right now, and hope it will continue that way. Thanks yet again to everyone. Edit 2. Update posted. Sorry for the rushed update and weird writing. It is explained in my update as to why. Thanks yet again. People's opinions, let me get this straight. You must not have offered to pay half of the rent, because then it would have come up and you would have told him, right? He is living with you rent-free. Up to now, he thought you were paying the entire rent. On what planet does he deserve half of the tenant's rent money? Please reconsider this relationship. NTA. NTA. He showed his true colors at, give me half the money, or you're just as bad as any other landlord. If he actually thought you renting out the lower half of the building was morally reprehensible, the ultimatum would be stop charging the person downstairs rent, or offer to sell the downstairs unit to them, or even donate the profit to charities that help people secure stable housing. But no, he only actually cares that he didn't know about this stream of income, and now he wants in. Your boyfriend apparently was okay with not paying or even discussing rent with you. Then when he finds out you own the place and have a tenant, he calls you evil for taking money from someone else so that they can live there. Then to top it all off, he demands you basically make him co-landlord so he can get free money. Ick, why you're this naive to think any of this makes you an AH. I know people can get too caught up in their own drama to see clearly, but the reaction of the boyfriend is so obnoxious it's quite literally difficult to see this story being real. NTA. NTA. But your boyfriend is one. He is not entitled to anything that you make from renting this property out. I suspect you never told him, because really, it's none of his business. Landlords are not evil. It doesn't sound like you were getting rich, and even if you were, tough noogies. It's called the real world, and someone is always making money off of you. Literally, everyone pays for where they live, be it in rent or mortgage, but you were blessed with a gift that benefited him as well, with him no contributing to anything other than groceries. I suggest he be shown the door, because this is an ungrateful fool filled with far too much self-righteousness. NTA, he's bought into this all landlords are bad rhetoric and decided this undermines everything he knows about you. You haven't played into this stereotype. Indeed, you've said you'll cover the cost of the new fridge. For someone demanding half of the rent you receive, he's not offered to pay any. So he's living with only half the grocery costs to cover. Sounds like he's a problem tenant more than you are an evil landlord. NTA, given his reaction, this can't have been the first red flag? Well, second, actually, since he didn't offer to pay half the rent when he moved in, so the convo could be had of your living situation? You deserve better. Absolutely hypocritical of him to say he hates landlords for being money grabbers then request half the money. which he is absolutely not entitled to.